Okay, tears are flowing through the Capitol. Everybody's screaming, everyone's crying. So what's the occasion? Well, Congresswoman Omar got voted off the Foreign Affairs Committee.
The question is on adoption of the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those in favor say no. No. It's the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it and the resolution is agreed to. And without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Chaos erupts the moment Ilhan Omar gets booted from the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and the entire chamber knows it. MTG is fired up. Chip Roy is stunned. Democrats are shouting, yet the truth about why this happened is louder than all of them. This is the moment everything flipped, and the fallout hits harder than anyone expected.
Does that remind you of anything? McCarthy yanked Omar off Foreign Affairs to pay back Pelosi for yanking his people off committees. He didn't want to do it, doesn't think it's right, but he had to do it. You can't let Democrats boot your boys off committees and turn the other cheek. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We'll just not let it happen again. Swalwell and Schiff got the boot from Intel because they're liars, leakers, and Chinese spy sleepers. And Elon got axed because of anti-Semitism. She called Israel evil and said, you know, Jews, it's all about the money. But Omar says she loves Jews, and she had no idea there was a thing with Jews and money.
I certainly did not or was not aware that the word hypnotize was a trope. I wasn't aware of the fact that there are tropes about Jews and money. That has been a very enlightening part of this journey.
I think Adam Schiff's Jewish. He's looking at her like, that's like me telling dumb blonde jokes and Dana getting upset. And I say, Dana, I never knew people tease blondes about their brains. Even I couldn't play that dumb. And it's easy for me. So 2 white guys got stripped and then a Muslim woman. So how does AOC see it? Omar was fired because of 9/11.
As a fellow New Yorker, I think one of the things that we should talk about here is also one of the disgusting legacies after 9/11 has been the targeting and racism against Muslim Americans throughout the United States of America, and this is an extension of that legacy.
Whoa! So some people did some things to Omar, and that's racist. And if the racist Republicans don't shut up, the squad is going to die.
Consistency, there is nothing consistent with the Republican Party's continued attack except for the racism and incitement of violence against women of color in this body. I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life, and you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him with one of the most prestigious committee assignments in this Congress. This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America. Don't tell me, because I didn't get a single apology when my life was threatened. Thank you.
Whoa! I haven't seen AOC that angry since somebody called her a big booty Latina.
See this guy right there? Right there. When I was walking up, he said, hey, right in front of a Capitol Police officer, said, hey, here's this, look at that big ass, look at that big juicy booty, this Latina, like whatever, you know, all the bunch of racist, sexist stuff.
This was only the beginning. Apparently, Omar losing a committee seat was worse than January 6th.
Republicans are waging a blatantly Islamophobic and racist attack on Congresswoman Omar. And I've said it before, I will say it again. The white supremacy happening is unbelievable. This is despicable. This is just a bunch of racist gaslighting.
Could it be the way that she looks?
Time is expired.
Could it be her religious practices?
This clearly isn't about what Ilhan Omar said as much as who she is. Being a smart, outspoken black woman of a Muslim faith is apparently the issue.
The GOP is now doing what it is best at, weaponizing hate against a black, beautiful Muslim woman. They turn Congress into a place of fear-mongering hate. It is so painful to watch.
The racism was so strong, it brought the squad to tears.
You are showing who you all are, really.
The gentlewoman's time has
Omar will
expired.
not be silenced.
The gentlewoman's time has expired.
To Congressman Omar, I am
gentlewoman's
so
time
sorry,
has
sis,
expired.
that our country is failing you today through this chamber. You belong
The gentlewoman
in
is
that
no
committee.
longer recognized.
You belong in that committee. Have you ever seen Democrats cry for their constituents who get shot? Have you ever seen Democrats cry when the cartels poison our people? People are getting pushed into subway tracks, but this gets Democrats upset. You get fired and they don't bat an eye, but the squad gets fired and they cry. This tells you everything you need to know about these people. It's all about them. It's not about you. It's about their power, their perks, their places on committee. Where was that emotion when the terrorists were blowing up our Marines in Afghanistan? Or when moms were scrambling for baby formula? Well, Omar closed out the show, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm just going to guess that Omar reminded us that she's a Muslim immigrant from Africa.
Well, I am Muslim. I am an immigrant, and interestingly, from Africa. Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced?
Omar is not just a congresswoman. She tells us she is a global citizen, and people around the world celebrate her accomplishments. We don't know what those accomplishments are, but if you listen closely, the world is clapping.
My leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated.
Standing in that chamber, the tension felt like it could snap steel. MTG was already leaning forward, laser focused on the vote that everyone knew was coming. Chip Roy kept glancing across the aisle, almost daring Democrats to make a scene. And the second Ilhan Omar's removal was announced, the reaction hit like a shockwave. Voices exploded instantly. Accusations, outrage, theatrics. Democrats tried painting it as some kind of identity assault, but every Republican in the room knew exactly why this moment mattered. Omar's long history of controversial statements had hovered over the Foreign Affairs Committee for years, and this vote was the first time anyone finally held her accountable. Watching MTG stand there, unapologetic and unmoved, set the tone. She looked ready for every headline, every meltdown, every Twitter storm that would inevitably follow. Chip Roy shook his head in disbelief, not at the vote, but at the reaction. It was like the opposition had been waiting to erupt, and this was their excuse. The shouting grew so loud the speaker had to slam the gavel more than once. Meanwhile, Omar stood rigid, delivering her own dramatic remarks about injustice and targeting. But the energy in the room told a different story. This wasn't personal, this was overdue. A committee that deals with war, intelligence, and global diplomacy needs stability, not controversy swirling around it like a permanent storm cloud. Reporters practically sprinted out of the chamber to blast the moment across every outlet. MTG gave them exactly the soundbite they came for, sharp, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore. Chip Roy followed with a calm but cutting explanation that left no room for misinterpretation. The committee deserved credibility, and Omar's statements over the years had undermined it. Walking out, it felt like the entire building was buzzing, staffers whispering, cameras rolling, members huddling in corners. This decision sent a political tremor through Washington, and everyone could feel it. But the biggest takeaway came from watching the crowd outside, real people cheering, celebrating, grateful that Congress finally took action instead of pretending controversy didn't matter. The jubilation wasn't about partisanship, it was about accountability. And in that moment, it was clearer than ever. This vote wasn't just a committee reshuffling. It was a message that resonated far beyond the walls of the Capitol.